welcome to our Plugs Community Connection. I am your host, DJ Kitty Cat, with my sister co-host, Miss Morningstar on WKRA 92.7 FM The Change. If you're looking for the best in news, current events, community outreach programs, and shopping connections, you've come to the right place. We've got a great mix of content and community connections lined up for you this evening, along with special guest interviews. So, grab your favorite drink of choice, turn up the volume, and let's get into it.
Good morning, WKRA 92.7 The Change. It's your morning host, DJ Kitty, here with my sister co-host, Miss Morningstar. We're from Our Plugs, the Community Connection. We are here this happy Taco Tuesday. Taco
It
Tuesday.
is Taco Tuesday. Hey.
It sure is, yes. And there's nothing like a chicken taco. Happy Tuesday. I hope everyone had a good night's rest. I know it was storming here in Houston, so I slept like a baby. Plus, I was tired, so I slept really, really good. And I hope everyone has had their breakfast and you drank at least 16 ounces of water, as water is key. And you've had a moment to meditate and speak with your spiritual leader and just had a moment to yourself before we hop into this day. Today is Tuesday and we've got news you can use. We've got what's going on in the world, because life, as the kids say, is life. So, but before we get started, as always, we must start every broadcast with a positive affirmation or several positive affirmations. And we get those affirmations from our affirmation queen, Mrs. Morningstar. With that being said, Mrs. Morningstar, what do you have for us today?
Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, chat, and welcome to Tuesday.
Yes.
I wanted to approach today in a way that we can relax. I know it seems right now, and I know you guys have listened to local news and seen what the world was happening within our United States, and it is very despairing. And I know it's heartbreaking, and a lot of people are down and feeling pretty tired. I get it.
Yeah.
So I want to do an affirmation about stress relief, total relaxation. Just kind of give you some words and breathing in and blowing out your mouth, ways to endure stress. Stress release affirmations are a positive statement. Sorry, y'all, my daughter is beeping, and it helps you manage stress and anxiety. So we're gonna get into.
We're going to get into it. Just give her a second, y'all.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it right now. Okay, so let's start. So start with I feel calm and relaxed. Tell yourself I feel calm, I feel relaxed. Breathe slowly and deeply. That's important. Breathe slowly and deeply. With each breath, become more relaxed. Relax your body, kind of let your limbs loose, stretch your head a little bit. Feel completely carefree. Breathe as calm as you can, always pacing your breaths. I'm free and I'm freeing the unwanted stress. Tell yourself, I'm releasing that stress. It is healthy and wise to let go and relax. I choose to enjoy this moment. I feel very positive and confident. I feel so peaceful and calm. I feel so comfortable. I feel like smiling. I am smiling. I am happy and content and so relaxed. So if you guys can practice that in the morning too, when you feel intense in your neck or you just kind of, it's been a rough, it's been a rough weekend. And
Been a rough
I
5.
think it has. And I think we need to find ways to take care of us. As Coach Nikki said on Monday's show, we have to take care of us. So I
Yes.
want y'all to try some of those positive relaxation affirmations.
I love that. Yes. And I years ago, 1,000 years ago, I was a fitness instructor, and that was one of the things that was so imperative is your breathing.
Mm-hmm.
So, you inhale through your nose, you exhale through your mouth, and you try and relax your body.
Right.
This world right now, we are all on pins and needles because we've got some things happening that we just, none of us can understand because we've never lived through anything like this. Now, America hasn't been innocent since the inception of America, but we never thought in our day and age we would be witnessing just the atrocities of people being snatched up out of a graduation, just all of it. It's not just the what's happening in LA. It's the everything. It's everything, and it's like we're being bombarded.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
being, but that is the whole point of all of it. He wants to
Yes.
bombard us and wear us down.
Yes.
He figures if I wear them down, they'll be too weak to fight back. Well, the devil is a lie. But
Absolutely.
let's go
One,
ahead. Go ahead.
we are strong people. We are resilient. We have been our bloodline. I'm speaking on our ancestors' bloodline. Those who know what I'm saying, has
Yeah.
been through way worse atrocities than what's happening in present day. We will survive and we
Yes.
will be fine.
And we will get through this
Mm-hmm.
because we don't have a choice. We
Right.
don't have a choice. And, you know, that's what he wants. And I refuse to give him anything he wants. No, no,
Mm.
thank you. Let's go ahead and start with the weather. So in
Okay.
Holly Springs, we have a high of 87, a low of 63 today. Cloudy and sunny. Winds out of the west northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Humidity is at 56% in the morning and 75% in the evening. Grass pollen is very high and your air quality is good. Seems like a decent day. Memphis, Tennessee, you have a high of 89, a low of 66. It's staying sunny, winds out of the northwest, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Humidity is 51% in the morning and 61% in the evening. Grass pollen is very high and your air quality is good. Houston, Texas, a high of 88, a low of 77, cloudy with scattered thunderstorms. In the afternoon, gusty winds and hail. Humidity is at 71% in the morning, 83% in the evening. Grass pollen is high and your air quality is good. Now, there are threats coming up the Gulf, heading all the way up from Texas through Mississippi, through Louisiana, Mississippi, going all the way up to New York. I mean, we are in for some storms that are coming, and I hear that there is a hurricane brewing, and her name is Barbara. So who gonna do it first? Barbara, this is Shirley. We don't want no problems. We don't want no problems. None whatsoever. Barbara,
Let me talk to you, Barbara.
talk to her, sis.
Woman's a woman.
Okay?
Don't want no problems.
None.
We definitely respect Mother Nature.
We do. We
We
do.
not we don't want that beef that you and Mister had. We just want you not to come over here.
Bothering us
Yeah.
because I didn't
Stay
know.
in that water.
Yes, please. Matter of fact, calm down. Y'all, Barbara, practice anger management. Do the breathing exercises. I know you've been in anger management because Shirley done pissed you off for years. But
Yeah.
look, I told Shirley to
Woman to woman.
leave you alone long time ago.
We did.
We did. So
So
Barbara,
yeah,
you stay on out there and let us be.
Barbara. All right.
This is Shirley. All right. So yeah, we have some we have some hurricanes. You know, they predict that we're about to have, it's a 61% uptick in hurricanes this year. And if you are on Our Plugs, if you are a member, your newsletter has a link to NOAA as well as how to prepare for this hurricane season. So please take a look. Please, prepare yourself, because, we may joke about it a lot, but Mother Nature, when she's ready to come through, she's ready to come.
Let me answer a question in the comments. Who is Barbara? Barbara is the name of the new hurricane that's brewing in the Pacific Ocean right now. So they named her Barbara. We just saying Barbara, we don't want no problems. We don't want her to come up to the Gulf and,
Gulf of
see us,
Mexico.
the Gulf of Mexico, and come see us, because we ain't done it when we respect nature. So
You already know,
putting it out there.
Powerful Black Woman. You've heard that song,
Woman to woman.
Woman to Woman. Hey, Barbara, this is Shirley. You've heard that song. So, me and Miss Morningstar, we have
we gonna clown a little bit. We
have to laugh about life, because that's all we got. Sometimes you just got to chuckle it out. So we have news you can use. It is time to get into it. And I want to start with something positive, because I feel like we got to stay on this positive tip. We got to keep reminding ourselves that we have to stay positive. So Giles King, a man of vision, he stands tall in his fatherhood. Father's Day is Sunday. Yep. Please take care of the men, the dads, the fathers in your life. I will say this. It's on Heart and Soul magazine, and I'm not going to give it away. Y'all got to go read it for yourselves. I'm not going to give it away. I got it, sis.
Okay.
But what I am going to say is I watched a video. Now, this part is funny. Please go check out Giles King. But I did watch a video. I did not share it with anybody because I thought that it was insane. But there is a man that's going around. He has on the pads, of shoulder pads, football pads. And he says, I will tackle your baby daddy for $149.99. And he has been going around tackling these men. And I mean, he is laying them out. One dude he knocked out. And this one lady said, I'm reading the comments and I'm laughing because, yes, I have a sense of humor and it was funny. But then I got concerned because he was hitting them for a force. These men, he's walking up to them and ringing a doorbell and, catching them out in public. He's like, is your name Reggie Wilson? And he's just boom. I mean, knocking them flat. And I said to myself, my goodness, I have never been mad at my ex enough to have anybody tackle him. I'd be mad. Don't
But him. I'm just tripping like, dude, you gonna get arrested.
Somebody's gonna hurt you. He hit this one man, and he was with two other guys, and they all jumped him. But this is a dude. This dude is big. He's probably about 6'2", and he has to be about maybe 280 pounds. And he is knocking these men flat and knocking them smooth out. And it's because their baby mamas is paying this man $149.99. And this one lady said, I don't know, but this one lady says she'll pay $250.
Woohoo, Lord! I don't.
Y'all don't do that.
Please do not do that.
Please don't do it.
People nowadays will, pull them things out on you. Don't do that, because that's dangerous. But it's
dangerous. But it is funny. It was funny watching it, but I was just like, man, I would be so upset if somebody did that to my kid's father. Are you crazy? That's their daddy. Don't put your hands on him.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
We need them here.
What you doing? But that was too funny to me. So that's the positive that I have. I'm gonna talk about this real quickly. Oh, go ahead, sir.
Oh well, I just get into the buffoonery. So RFK Jr.
Oh, you beat me to it.
Scratchy throat. Oh, you had him. Scratchy throat. Need a Halls. Or some type of lubrication. In his throat. He removed all 17 members of the CDC Vaccine Advisory Committee.
All 17.
Mask up, y'all. He trying to kill us.
He really is. You know, they don't want to report. You know, when I look and do my investigating to find out what's going on in each city, Holly Springs, Memphis, and Houston, the CDC they've always reported. I've always, paid attention to it. But now they're not even reporting. I didn't get any flu and vaccine information today. Flu information today, rather. And it just
it's disgusting. It's sickening. It's like I mean, like, we tried to tell people. His family tried to warn y'all, and y'all still put him in this position. This committee, this advisory committee for immunization practices, called ACIP, makes recommendations on the safety, efficiency, and clinical needs of vaccines.
Mm-hmm.
Today, we are prioritizing the restoration of public trust above any specific pro or anti-vaccine agenda. This is Kennedy. This is what he's saying. The public must know that unbiased science, his opinion, evaluated through a transparent process and insulated from conflicts of interest, guides the recommendation of our health agency. Sir, you have no idea what you're talking about.
You have no idea. Nobody knows what you're talking about.
Down. This is ridiculous.
It's crazy. It's insane. Y'all mask up. Matter of fact, I'm going to go to Costco and get me some more masks tomorrow because
I'm so serious. This is just like insane.
And now okay, so next we're going to hear there won't be any more vaccines because people still need vaccines. We live in a world of filth. Just because he likes swimming in sewage doesn't mean we want to swim in sewage.
That part.
Man, I have been reading Black AF, baby, to find out years ago how things were. It explains a lot.
1500s, 14, 1500.
I mean, people didn't bathe, and they used the same water. It didn't dawn on them that if I am using this water to relieve myself, I should not be downstream drinking the same water. So a lot of people unalived because of the Black Plague. Y'all gave yourself
disease.
That's nasty.
Nasty. Unbelievable, y'all.
Anywho, yeah, our JFK, he fired him, and y'all mask up because that's what the plan is. It seems like the plan is just to take us all out, take us all down.
Yeah.
So I know we're gonna talk about this with the fellas when they come on up, but I did want to announce that 700 Marines are deployed to LA as of this afternoon. And California is suing Trump over the National Guard. They started this. They knew that if they would do the most outlandish things possible, that citizens would not just sit back idly by and let you come up in their schools and snatch up children and just, bully your way into messing with people. I don't understand. It's like they have lived their entire existence just being horrible to
bullies. They this is their chance to be bullies. They were the ones that got picked on in high school, in grade school. They were the ones that couldn't get no dates or never was invited to the parties and missed out on all the fun. And they said revenge was going to be their ultimate goal. Once they got rich and made a lot of money, they was going to get back at everybody.
Everybody. And that's exactly what they're trying to do. You're getting back at everybody. And for what? Why are you so unhappy? You have all the money. Why are you so unhappy? That really makes you wonder, what's wrong with y'all? Like, seriously.
They can't help themselves, sis. I'm convinced. The things I've heard today truly makes me say, y'all just can't help yourself. You just can't help it. You can't help it. You can't stop being in our business. You can't stop being evil and hateful. It's in you. It's just embedded in you.
Yeah. And it's
It
ridiculous.
ain't no good. It's something it got to be thrown out. Ain't no salvaging it. Ain't no trying to make it better. They got to go.
And it's ridiculous. And at this point, we've had about enough.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just praying that, when you're in the position that we are, the 92%, we're not going out there because we told y'all. And I'm not putting my body, my life, my family on the line for people who sit up here and talk so badly about somebody who could have given us all a better future. But y'all talked about Kamala as if she was just the worst. Now you get what you paid for. And those who didn't vote for this, I'm sorry.
Everything she said is coming into
Everything.
fruition.
She told.
When a woman, particularly a black woman, tells you something, you better think about it and you better take heed. She tried to warn America. This was what this narcissist sick pig was going to do.
Yep.
And that's exactly what he's doing. He is using his military, that's what he calls them. And I feel so bad for my veteran brothers,
I do
veteran
too.
brothers and sisters who are truly about the Constitution. They hurting and they pissed, and I feel so sorry for them.
Yeah, me too.
Even the
Because they
ones
don't
that are
deserve
forced into this stuff,
Yeah.
forced into having to go do this.
And they have to, because it's part of their oath. They have to follow this crazy person, what he says. But I really and truly hope. I mean, I don't hope. I know that karma is not sleep. I know somebody tripped up a flight of stairs, and that's good for you. Two of them, Rubio and
Two evil lanes. Two evil
yep,
lanes.
that's what y'all
I
get.
wish you would. Let me shut up.
Yes, let's go ahead and go to break, sis. Let's take a quick break and then we'll come back and bring the fellas on up. You are listening to Our Plugs, the Community Connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
Welcome to a world that sparkles. Sparkle Kicks LLC is your one-stop shop for a wide variety of customized items. So bling out your Crocs, customize that cutting board, get you custom dominoes. Stop by and we will customize your order today. We can be found on Etsy and Our Plugs LLC. I'll be waiting to customize your order. All you need to do is place it.
And I'd like for you to do one more thing for me. Hold up two fingers. This is you, and this is me, and the space that exists between us should be filled with value.
Equal, a global human initiative, and its value identity model.
Opalmay Simplistic Beauty is hair care and skincare in a bottle. Take a quick survey and let us design your own formula. Go to ourplugs.com, look for Opalmay Simplistic Beauty, and we can get your formula out to you as soon as possible. We hope to hear from you soon. Have a great day.
www.saysomething.biz, and let's say something together.
And we are back. You are listening to Our Plugs, the Community Connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. This morning we are talking to our leaders, our veterans voice and our leaders who mentor. And we have we have a great lineup. We've got Ali Go coming up. He's going to share his knowledge about re-entering civilian life as a veteran. Sis, did you have any more stories, or did you want to go ahead and bring Ali?
No, let's go ahead and bring Ali up, because I
Yeah.
know we got some important stuff to talk about, and
Yeah.
I want everybody to have their time today. So let's get Ali on the stage, our veteran brother. Hey, Ali.
Hey, Ali.
What's going on? What's going on, man?
Not too much. Just trying to make it, honey.
There's a lot going on. Let's throw something at the wall and see what sticks. but you know, just the transition from military to civilian life can be tough. Can be really, really, really tough for a lot of people, right? So it's being prepared, right? Be prepared, and I think if you're prepared and have a good knowledge of what to expect, you're better able to go out there and be successful, because we don't want veterans to get out here and be homeless. We don't want to fall into, the trap of going to prison or jail or getting into trouble or doing the things that they're not supposed to do and be a positive influence on society. That's one of the things we want to make sure they do. And then at the end, I'm going to play a video, and this is the video is going to focus on what we need to do when we attack anything. We got to give more than just what we think we have. So just keep an eye out for that. But the first one I'm going to play is going to tell you what to expect, because a lot of people think when you retire from the military, you could live off that retirement. You cannot live off your retirement when you retire from the military. Let me say that again. When you're leaving the military and you think, okay, I had 20 plus years, and I'm going to retire and I'm going to sail off into the sunset. You better have some plans or some savings accumulated so you can make sure that you are best prepared for when you leave the military, because a lot of things that you were automatic and taken care of, you're going to have to pick up them bills, and the money coming in is going to be lower than what you made while you were active duty. So just want to keep that in mind for some of the folks out there that have family members who are, about to retire, and retirement is not going to be the thing that's going to be their saving grace, and you're going to sell off in the sunset, right? So take a look.
How does military retirement pay work after 20 years of service? In recent discussions about veterans' lives after service, a key question arises. How does military retirement pay work after 20 years of service? As many service members transition to civilian life, understanding this topic is essential. With recent changes and updates, many veterans are seeking clarity on what to expect from their retirement benefits. Military retirement pay is designed to provide financial support for those who have dedicated at least 20 years to service. The calculation of retirement pay is based on a formula that considers both years of service and base pay. The standard method used is called the High 36. This method averages the highest 36 months of basic pay received by the service member. For every year of service, veterans earn 2.5% of that average pay. Therefore, a service member who has completed 20 years of service would receive 50% of their average base pay as retirement pay. This structure ensures that those who serve longer receive more substantial benefits. It is important to note that retirement pay varies depending on the type of retirement. Regular retirement, medical retirement, and reserve retirement each have different calculations and timelines for when pay begins. For reservists, retirement pay typically starts at age 60, rather than immediately after leaving service. Some veterans may qualify for both military retirement pay and disability compensation. However, there are specific rules regarding how these payments interact. In certain cases, veterans can receive both forms of pay, but one may be reduced based on the other unless they meet special criteria, such as concurrent retirement and disability pay for specific disability ratings. Taxes also play a role in military retirement pay. While this pay is subject to federal income tax, the amount that is taxable can vary based on individual circumstances. State tax regulations may differ, so it is wise for veterans to consult local laws. Retirement pay is just one aspect of the benefits available to veterans. Other important benefits include health care through TRICARE, survivor benefits, and access to commissaries. For spouses, programs like the Veterans Affairs Survivors Pension offer financial support if the veteran passes away and the spouse meets certain income and service requirements. By understanding how military retirement pay is calculated, when it begins, and the tax implications, veterans can better plan for their lives after service.
Yeah, so let's go back right here.
It begins.
I'm going to go back right here. So, your top high, that's what you're going to receive, 50% of your top high base pay, right, after 20 years. Every year after that, you get 2.5 for additional payment. But so that's half of what you got. And then you still have all the bills and stuff that you still got to pick up, right? So just make sure that, veterans are prepared to get out here and do that. And then here, if you're a reservist, you got to wait till you're 60. How many people that you know don't make it to 60, right? So you may work 20 years, right, as a reservist, National Guard, and then you got to wait till you're 60. Hopefully you make it to your 60. How much things can you enjoy when you're 60, right? So make sure that we keep that in mind. This is really, really, really important. All right. So this is a testimonial. The next one is going to be testimonial from another veteran, and how she attacks the transition from military to civilian life.
My cousin deployed to Iraq in 2004. I went to see him off, and just seeing the camaraderie amongst him and the Marines that he was with basically convinced me that that was what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. My name is Priscilla Wan. I spent 8 years in the Marine Corps on active duty, 2 in the reserves, and I was a mass communication specialist. The Marine Corps was the best decision I ever made. I deployed to Iraq in 2006 as a combat correspondent, so my role was to tell the Marine Corps story. The Marines I worked with and worked for were the best part of my experience as a Marine. We got to travel the country together. We got to oversee the start of a whole new digital movement when social media came around. So I did have a very unique experience and a very good experience. So it was very hard upon separation to lose that identity. There are so many things you have to think about upon separation that it made me realize how much of almost like a security blanket the military lifestyle provides you. You can be as prepared on paper, like I'm gonna get life insurance through here, I lined up this job and I'm gonna have health insurance, or I'm gonna go to school and I'm gonna use my GI Bill and this is where I'm gonna live and this is my budget. You may have prepared very well for all that, as I did, but I wasn't prepared for the shock of what it was gonna be like to not be in the Marine Corps anymore. For me, it wasn't so much the loss of structure, it was the camaraderie. I literally grew up in the Marine Corps because I was fresh out of high school when I joined, and I grew up and I paid bills and I got married and I had children. I literally went from this super fast-paced life to this slow suburban life, and I felt like I didn't have a mission. And so I got a call from IAVA and flew out here to meet the staff and everyone, and I feel like now that I have employment in which I feel so connected to the mission. Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America is the leading post-9/11 veterans empowerment organization. The mission here at IAVA is to connect, unite, and empower post-9/11 veterans. My life, I think, is just as busy now as it was when I was in the Marine Corps, but I like it that way. And I know that what I'm doing on a small scale in my home, obviously makes a difference every day, but on a very large scale, we deal with veterans every single day and we change lives every.
So you hear, I talked about the financial part. Now she's talking about the emotional part, the connection, the camaraderie, right? So those are just two things. And in between that, you have all the things that you still have to take care of as a person, especially if you have a family or if you have family members with special needs, right? So those are some things people have to take, consideration, and it's not hitting you until you get out. This next one I'm gonna play, he's gonna give some tips.
Months
right?
that I've officially.
He's gonna give some tips. Let me find the marker. He's gonna give some tips on what to expect when you get out, because this it's easy to say, okay, I'm going to get out. I'm going to be successful. I have everything lined up. But trust me, the more you're prepared and you talk to people who retired and see what it is really like. Because saying you're going to retire or transition, because not a lot of people retire. You have people that get out in the military that don't retire. So they're not even getting the retirement pay, right? So that's even more traumatic when now you have to go find a job, make sure your resume is right, and still have bills to come up and take care of. So listen to this short 3.
I have a quick question, Ali. I know you're about to play the video, but so what I'm hearing is when you get out of the military, if you don't apply for your retirement, you don't get anything.
Well, you have retirement after 20. You have to you have to apply to retire, right? So once you get your retirement, you get 50% off the last 3 of your top highest rank, right? But the retirement rate from the last time I checked, I want to say it's 17%. It's not everybody retires from the military.
Yeah.
After 20. So some people fall short, some people get put out, some people decide to leave. And that's people who are retiring and getting the retirement. That's 50% of what they used to make.
Wow.
Yes. So you're not going to live off your retirement.
No, you're not. Not this day and age.
Unless you have something built up, then that will supplement what you already have. Yeah. So I'm gonna play this. These are 3 things that this veteran. He's a popular YouTuber. He deals with fitness. You've probably seen him on YouTube running around here doing fitness challenges with different folks in the different services. And he's going to talk about the 3 things that he wants to give to people who are transitioning to make sure that they're successful when they get out.
Establish an anchor. Establishing an anchor helps you get off on the right foot. It puts momentum into your day as soon as you wake up, and it's very important for you to keep that momentum, to keep fulfilling what you have to do and what you need to do throughout the day. Think about a boat. Without an anchor, it's going to drift off. This is what I was doing when I got out. I was just kind of just drifting. You need to establish an anchor. It's going to be the best thing that helps you. Number 2, Austin, stop comparing your time in the military to the time that is now. You're not in the military anymore. Things don't work like they do in the military anymore. It's going to be tough, but you have to constantly think the task you're dealing with at hand shouldn't be compared to any other thing that you've ever experienced before. If your friend or your family member reaches out to you and they ask for help, it's important for you to take them into account every time. It's important for you not to compare their situation to a situation that you've dealt with before, and be empathetic with people. Everyone, especially your friends and family, deserves you to talk to them and deserves for you to take them into account. And I didn't understand this when I got out, but mission first includes your family and your friends and being there for them. That's your mission first. Number 3, you've got to take ownership of your life. You've got to be the one at the helm. You're no longer listening to a chief anymore. You are the chief, and you're the chief of your life. And it's important to constantly adapt to your situations and constantly try to do better and better each day, because if you're not getting better, it means you're going in reverse. Sitting here a year later and just thinking about the position and the mindset that I was in 12 months ago, it's crazy, because I remember there were some dark times. A lot of you know that I was building the battle bunker when I got out, and it took me 40 days to build the battle bunker. It probably would have taken me 20 days if I was constantly working every single day. But to be honest, some days I would just force myself to drive out there and I would sleep in the truck because I had no motivation and I had no drive. And the thought of building the whole thing intimidated me. So it would just make me run and hide, in my truck. You guys see me as this person who's constantly pushing others and constantly going through fitness challenges, trying to be better every day. And sometimes even I'm not better, especially mentally. And that's something I dealt with in the last year. Now I realize that there's so much to be thankful for. I'm out free. I'm on my own now. I can travel. I can do things that I couldn't originally do in the military. And I tell people that the 2 best decisions I've ever made: 1, joining the military; number 2, getting out of the military, just to be able to experience the freedom and the taste of outside life again is great. And, we just launched a show on Snapchat. We're probably going to be moving out of California very soon. There's lots of things in my life now that I'm thankful for, including y'all. And I just wanted to make this video because I know some of you are transitioning veterans or planning to get out, and I think this video would help a lot of you guys. Just want to say thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys.
Yeah, so we got to make sure that we find an anchor. We make sure that we have some purpose, right? Because in the military, some of the stuff is automatic. You get your equipment, they tell you where to go, where to be, and some of the stuff is just easy for us because you don't have to think about it. All right. So transition is so much more where you are the CEO, you are in charge of you. Right? Nobody's gonna call you and tell you, hey, go make sure you get to dental, make sure that you go to your appointment. You got to make sure that you take care of everything for yourself. So it's multifaceted. It could be tough mentally. So the money part, the financial part is there, but the mental part, that is the part where a lot of veterans struggle. And that is a part where you have to understand the difference between military and civilian life, and even people that you talk to, because you cannot really compare a lot of, like you heard he said, you can't compare some of the stuff you've done to what the civilian life is. It's not a good thing to put side by side and look at, right? So yeah, so make sure that you definitely prepare financially and prepare emotionally and mentally as well, because the transition is drastic, but it's not a thing that you need to fear. It just need to be prepared for. And if you're prepared for it, then you could tackle it and become successful. Make sure that you're working on yourself to get out, because the military is not a permanent situation, no matter how you look at it. It is a temporary situation. All right. So folks, if you have people in the military, make sure you talk to them about what they're planning on doing when they get out, because they will get out and they have to get out. They will get out and they have to get out. All right. So make sure you give them a note to talk about. Now, before any questions, before I play my last thing, before I bring the fellows up, I got my last video here, but I want to pause for any questions or anything that you want to add to what I talked about just now.
I don't have any questions, Ali. I already asked mine.
No, I don't either. I'm glad you're doing this topic because it's needed for people coming out of the military. So
for sure. So just to give everybody a little bit of mindset when we're tackling things, right? I want everybody to think, I'm gonna go full speed. I'm gonna give everything I got. I'm going to do whatever it takes to become successful, and try to pass it on to your friends, your kids, your family members, because I'm going to explain what happens here, because for our folks who are listening on the radio, they're not going to be able to see it, but they can hear some of the stuff, but I'm going to explain what happens here. This is a race that's being run, and this runner is going to do everything in his power to make sure that he's successful. And I want y'all to take this with y'all. All right. So I'm going to explain once it's over. I'm going to explain for the folks on the radio. So here we go. What happened is right at the end, he dove headfirst parallel to the ground. He left his feet and he made sure that he crossed that line before his competitor. Right. So we got to make sure that we are doing what we need to do. Right. We got to do what we need to do to become successful. We just got to do it. We cannot make excuses. He was not playing any games.
Flew in the air like he was Superman. Listening, audience. Oh my goodness, he was not playing. He said, "I'm winning today."
Look, he left his feet and
Superman.
He said, "I'm Superman.
That's it.
I'm going to dive across this finish line before my competitor."
Respect.
I mean,
mute.
I mean, yeah.
That's by any means necessary. He dove across that finish line.
That boy got rug face burn.
He has face, arm, elbows, knees. He's all skinned up, but I bet you he crossed that finish line first.
I bet he won.
But did he win? Right. Did he win? But so that's what I gotta do. That is what I gotta add. Do what you need to do to make sure you're successful. If you have to dive across the finish line, head first to make sure that you're the first person at that job interview.
That's
You're the
right.
first person wherever you need to go, do what you need to do, whatever it takes to make sure you're successful. Do it and do it with some energy, right?
Some gusto.
Salute to all the veterans out here.
Superhuman powers.
Okay.
Go for it.
He said, "I'm getting
I love
across
that,
this
Ali.
finish line." Yeah,
I
that's
love
a good one.
I love that metaphor behind this. So good job.
Thank you so much, Ali.
No
So,
worries.
our next section is for our leaders who mentor. And Ali, they've asked that you stay up as well.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and bring them up. We're gonna do our quick introduction, then we'll take a break.
Okay.
Good morning. And I hear feedback, so I'm gonna go on mute because it's pretty it's loud for me. So I'm going to do my introductions. Good morning, DC. Good morning.
Good morning.
Randy. Thank you for joining us. And I'm going to go on mute because I don't know if it's coming back from me or not. Go ahead.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. DJ Kitty, Ollie Gold, thanks for staying up here with us. We need you. Miss Morningstar, DC. And thank you for your affirmations, Miss Morningstar, because we definitely, I'm in LA. And so if I can speak for probably the vast majority of people who feel like me right now, we needed that energy for sure. This is an overwhelming time. We are in an unprecedented moment, which is one of the reasons why I asked for Oligo to stay on with us, because there are components of this that I don't even know how to navigate, nor do I have the knowledge. And I know that he does. And so, but, we had a topic in place, but then when we saw things unfolding the way that they began to unfold, we were like, we've got to address this. And my question from the heart is, are we witnessing the seedings, the beginning of a civil conflict in America? And again, I'm just coming with questions right now, and I'm seeking answers because this is beyond disturbing. What this administration has done is beyond unnecessary. And it is clear to me that this is not about, removing criminals from this country. This is not about removing criminals from any protest activities in Los Angeles. This is about positioning himself, giving himself a reason to enact the Insurrection Act so that he can declare martial law, take power, which is, if you look at everything that he has done, it has literally been with that intention, because his desire, his core desire, his lust for power is that he acquires power and that he is able to do what he desires to do unchecked. And so I'll land there, and I'll just open up the panel for anyone else who, would like to chime in.
Absolutely. So before anyone chimes in, let's take a quick commercial break, get the breaks out the way. Ms. Morningstar, can you handle the breaks for me? I need to go off camera for a minute. Go ahead and handle
Sure,
it.
let's go to break. You're listening to Our Plus Community Connection. We will be back in, give us a quick 5. We'll be back.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ashley Middleton, life and executive leadership coach and owner of Radiate Coaching and Development, where we provide transformational strength-based coaching and mentorship. My goal specifically is to support you in identifying your mission, your vision, and your values that help you take your power back as you are building your career. Whether it's within or outside of the corporate world, my goal is to really empower you in making decisions that work well for you. So if you want to reach out to me, by all means, you can email me at radiate@midspiration.com or check out my website at radiatecoaching.com.
Welcome to a world that sparkles. Sparkle Kicks LLC is your one-stop shop for a wide variety of customized items. So bling out your Crocs. Customize that cutting board. Get you custom dominoes. Stop by and we will customize your order today. We can be found on Etsy and ourplugs LLC. I'll be waiting to customize your order. All you need to do is place it.
Yo, good morning, guys. I'm Don Marshall, aka Don Fu, CEO and owner of Bully Game Enterprises, also the owner of Nucci One Records. We'll be talking to you guys today, this morning, giving you a little bit more information about the company and what we do. We're into music, fitness, and fashion. We're going to talk about our single Blur today. Hopefully you guys like the song, and we're going to talk about some of the services that we provide here at Bully Game Enterprises. Can't wait to talk to you guys. See you soon.
And we are back. You are listening to Our Plugs, the Community Connection. We are here today with our veterans voice and our leaders within our Plugs, leaders who mentor. And before we left, Reggie was touching on an important message about what is really going on in our United States of America, what is happening in LA per se. We have all been watching it. We are all filthy disgusted.
Yeah.
And we know that we have a president of these United States that is a bully and a treasonous traitor to the Constitution. So I'm going to go ahead on mute and let you guys open the floor. I think you opened it up very, very well, Reggie. And I don't know if DC or Ali or Kitty wants to jump in, but I'm going to go on mute.
I'm going to let Ali go in since Ali was a guardsman. He can kind of tell us the perspective of what the guardsman's mission is and who actually controls activation of the guard other than when it's federalized like it has been.
Yeah, so I was listening to some of the folks earlier today. So yeah, I was active, went to National Guard, went back active. And so what I thought was it was the California National Guard that he sent there. So from what I'm hearing is he's sending the DC National Guard there, right? Because he's the commander-in-chief of DC National Guard. The other states, the governor is in charge of the National Guard, right? The Governor Newsom said he didn't want the National Guard in the city streets. So this is it. If you're getting a guard, how bad is it? How bad is it? That's the question. How bad is it for you to want the guard and then now you want Marines there? Is it that bad? Are you telling me people are losing their lives? People are protesting. Yes. Some of them are getting, you got some cars, they're burning cars. I think they throw some stuff on some of the vehicles, right? Because they're trying to push back the ICE agents, and they don't want the ICE agents to come into different places to grab people without a search warrant, ID, covering their faces, basically snatching people up, right? They're snatching people up. So that's what they're protesting against. So is it that bad? So if people are protesting against that, you're saying you need the National Guard and the Marines there to do what? The National Guard and the Marines are there now, right? So the National Guard are there to support the local folks there. They're not on the front lines. They're there to support. And for what I read today, the Marines are going to be there to support the federal buildings, to protect those buildings and protect people in those buildings, basically federal folks, right? They're not going to be on the front lines. The last time they did that was 1992. And I think during that time was Rodney King. They had the 1,500 Marines there. So it's been done before. But how bad was it for them to do that, right? Of course, it was really bad. But this is not in the case of, it's so bad, let me go send the National Guard and let's send the Marines. What's so bad about people protesting and saying, hey, you can't just grab people. We need due process according to the Constitution. How bad is it for you to do this? Are you saying now you're a wartime president against your own people or people who are living here in the United States? I'm trying to, because you say you have immunity. So whatever you do now, because it's never been done like this, do you have immunity to do what you want? And will the folks, and I'm pretty sure the folks, if I was there, if I was active, I wouldn't do anything that would go against the Constitution and terrorize the people who we represent. We're supposed to represent the people, especially when we're doing stuff overseas. But
Let me say this. I didn't realize that it was the DC National Guard. I assumed, because it only made sense, that it would be the National Guard in California. However, I'm not surprised. This man is playing with fire. He wants to see us up in arms. Are we upset? Absolutely. Absolutely. All of this is crazy. But will it activate us so that we put our bodies on the front line? No. Because this is exactly what he wants. And without us moving, he can't get what he wants. Without us jumping up and saying, okay, yes, we're going to go in March. No. I put it to you like this. They marched all year long. They've been marching since he got into office. And it was majority white people marching. The two arrests that we did see were two Black women who looked very peaceful. And now it's like he's ramping it up and ramping it up and ramping it up in hopes that we as a group, Black people, will get out. And do we want to stand? Do we see the injustice? Absolutely. But will we? Absolutely not. Because you want us. You're like, you got to think about all the things that have led up to this. Even with you saying that you're going to pardon the demon.
J6.
Yeah, the J6, but pardon the demon, Derek Chavez, that took away our brother George Floyd. You know, you are trying your best to get us riled up so we will take to the streets, because you know what type of people we are, but we are not falling for it. He's going to lose under his own demise, and it will be his own people that will get him out of there. It won't be.
Don't y'all find it interesting that he federalized or had the DC National Guard? Now, when January 6th hit.
So I'm reading what I read so far is the California National Guard, but somebody told me it was the DC National Guard. I'm trying to figure out.
Okay, you're trying to double check.
Yeah,
if so, it just is amazing to me how when January 6th hit, where we actually saw people climbing walls, with riot gear on, bashing windows, replacing the flag with his flag, smearing feces on the Congress walls. We saw this in real time happening. You did not call the National Guard, sir. You did not call anybody. You sat there, you watched, you gloated.
For hours.
And you gloated because they were doing it for you.
And I'd like to read something, if you guys don't mind, just to kind of add some context to this for those in the listening audience who are unaware. And these are the circumstances or the criteria that has to be met before the president can legally deploy the National Guard into civilian areas and civilian streets. The president can legally deploy the National Guard under three main circumstances: when the U.S. is invaded or in danger of invasion, when there is a rebellion or danger of rebellion, or when the president is unable to execute federal laws with regular forces. Now, I think this is interesting because, again, the city of Los Angeles, under the mayor's authority has over 12,000 law enforcement officials, far more than enough to quell. And I think the individuals yesterday who were engaging with the National Guard were some 400 or so people. But again, all that you saw on the news were those interactions, again, to create the perception that it was more than what it actually was. But even in that, even with that small number, the vast majority of other people who were protesting were peaceful. And today, the protests were organized protests by organizations such as very well-known unions and the ACLU. And so you've got these organized protests where they're basically instructed to go about their protests peacefully. Then again, we ask the question, why was there then a need to create this perception that it is necessary now to send in 700 active Marines?
It's not
Army. We're talking about the best of the best. Okay, we're talking about the baddest of the bad.
And
the Marines. We all know their reputation. 700 of them deployed into civilian streets to do what exactly? But this is, again, in my opinion, about creating a perception that the governor, the mayor, has lost control of Los Angeles, again, so that he can, for one, I guess, use us as a kind of a template, as a test to kind of push his boundaries and to see how much power he can grab in this situation, so that, well, if he was able to get away with it in Los Angeles, he can also get away with it in Chicago. He can also get away with it in New York. And by the time we turn around with, I'm sure within a very, quick amount of time, 30 days, because if you look at how this is happening, he's moving very rapidly, then he's able to posture himself and, create this perception that it is necessary then for him to declare martial law. And then that's the end game. That's checkmate, right? Because then he has unchecked power.
I'm so sick of this. I'm furious because, he's wrong. And he's doing it out of spite. He's doing it to retain power. He's doing it. Yeah, we all know what he's doing. And I just wish that, I know that our military, they will take a mark if they stand down. How does that work, Ali? If they go against it and say, no, I'm not going out there, what happens?
Well, they have to face the consequence from the UCMJ. They're going to have to follow legal orders, right? Because they're stuck between the rock and a hard place. They have their conscience may be telling them one thing, but they still have to follow what legal and ethical orders comes down. So when it comes to them and the protesters, they have ability to use whatever discretion they have and feel necessary based on the orders they're given. So hopefully they do the right thing and not use unnecessary force, right? Of course, if somebody's throwing a rock at you, you defend yourself. You have the riot gear and everything, right? So hopefully they act appropriately, but this does not make you look like a president who's for the people. You have people who are protesting against what you're doing. That doesn't mean you send the military after them.
Yeah, that doesn't make it any better. We're upset with what you're doing and how you have these, because you can't tell me that those that are working for ICE aren't the Proud Boys. Where are they at? If they weren't the Proud Boys, you would see the Proud Boys out. But we don't see the Proud Boys, do we? We don't see all these white nationalist groups marching anywhere, do we? Why is that? Because people can't be in two places at once.
And also,
what say do you, DC?
Yeah, I
Because you're
mean,
the veteran too.
Yes.
yeah, I mean, to me, it's straight out of the Project 2025 playbook. You know, we told them. I mean, Kamala told them exactly what was going to happen, and it's playing out just like she said it would. The sad part is that our judiciary has been compromised. So you can't even rely on the courts to right the wrongs. You know, there's no accountability for him right now because the Supreme Court is corrupt. So, you know, as much as I know this is an emotionally charged thing for our Latino brothers and sisters, but they got to stand down. I mean, it's the optics. You know, these optics will be used
Right.
come the next election to say, look at the liberal Democrats out here fighting our troops in the street. They don't respect our troops. It's all smoke and mirrors. I mean,
Right.
we know that. You know, this anything that we do now to counteract what they're doing will be used as optics. Um, so it's just a very unfortunate situation that could have been prevented 100% if people voted their interests versus voting to preserve some level of supremacy, or just the simple fact that they couldn't stomach voting for a black woman. You know, that's the way I see it.
And voting to hurt others. And just one
Right.
other thing that I'd like to bring up for us to discuss is the artillery, the ammunition that has been brought into one specific area, into Washington, D.C., supposedly in preparation for the military parade. But what is all of that ammunition going to be used for? Why is it now readily available at hand at your immediate disposal in Washington, D.C.? Why do you have concentrated weaponry and artillery and ammunition now in preparation again for supposedly this military parade? What are you
I
preparing for?
mean, exactly, because I don't know anybody that's going to come out there and watch the parade unless it's your supporters. Are you going to turn that ammunition on your own supporters? Because I don't know a single soul that would go out and watch his parade unless you want to turn it against our military. Why?
All I'm saying is that there's another reason beyond this parade. There's another plan at play at work. There's another strategy happening, just like with them biting at the bits to send all of these, to send the military essentially against American citizens, which is the definition of civil conflict. There's another plan hatched, and it has something to do with something that we currently don't know about, but that I'm very concerned about, because you're doing it under the mask of this military parade, but what are you really doing?
Right. And we
It's
know he's
always
doing something. We know he's doing something.
It's always
this
something.
is a deceptive. People think, I'm so serious when I say Decepticons. They are a bunch of criminals inside our government.
Yes.
No jokes. That is what they are. Criminal minded, and the leader is the top criminal, one of the top criminals. Now let me tell you, he not the mastermind.
No, Stephen Miller.
And there's some other ones, some billionaires.
Yes.
There's some other folks
Peter
that's up there
Thiel,
too.
all of them.
He's not the mastermind.
And did you guys hear what was being floated on when he landed in his helicopter? I think he was bashing it in DC, and they were asking him about arresting Gavin Newsom. And he said, I think it would be a great idea. He said, if I were the border czar, I would arrest him. I mean,
the czar doesn't have any authority to arrest anybody.
But these are the things that he's floating out there. This is the mentality. This is the mindset, is my point. Yeah. It's not about whether it's legal or not. But these are the things that these are the seeds that he's planting. These are the activities and the behaviors that he's normalizing, because this is coming from the chief executive officer
He
of
knows
these
what
United
he's doing.
States. Exactly.
He
That's my
knows what
point.
he's doing. There are people he knows that will do anything for him. They
Exactly.
would
That
do
is my
anything,
point.
and all he is
Exactly.
doing is feeding the leopards. He's feeding
Yes.
them what they need in order to rile them up, just like he did January 6th. He got them
Like,
riled up.
exactly.
And that's right. Gavin said, "Come on and arrest me. What you gonna do?" Which I appreciate. Don't back down. You can't back down to a bully.
No, you
cannot back down to a bully.
You got to check them.
You have to stand to a bully. They don't know, because the thing is, they will continue to bully, which he's been bullying America.
Absolutely.
So I'm
Right.
telling Congress, when y'all gonna stand up?
Well, I mean, and again, I was on a live with Ali earlier today, and they need to come back. They need to call a special session to address this.
If they would.
Again, I'm sorry, DJ Kitty.
I'm just saying, if they would, they're going to do whatever he tells them to do. So calling a special session, I don't see them doing it. I really don't.
Right. Because because Mike Johnson is basically the one who would have to do it, and he's a crony,
Yeah, I mean, the good thing about, making people accountable, at least get it on the record, their position. I mean, the only thing that's going to save us at this point is to vote the people out. I mean, again, the corruption runs so deep within our governmental system at this point in time. There are no checks and balances. No one has the courage to stand up to him and say, hey, this is wrong. You need to stand down. Nobody has that courage. And it's because on the flip side, the agenda that they really have, which is to preserve supremacy, they're not going to challenge that because that's what they want. So if this is part of the box we got to check to get there, I'm willing to destroy an American city and arrest American citizens, and to get that goal accomplished.
Exactly.
And if he enacts the Insurrection Act, then that gives him the ability to deport American citizens out of this country. So it's a lot. It's something that I never thought I would live to see. Tom Holman, this guy that's in charge of ICE, was literally dressed like Fidel Castro today. He was in olive drab from head to toe. Now, I've never seen a civilian leader don a uniform. I know Ms. Morningstar can relate to this. When you walk in your building, all the civilian leaders are in suits and ties. Nobody's dressed up in military regalia
Absolutely.
as a leader. So what
And
we're
trust me,
witnessing, it's like a banana republic. It's like it's like
Was he
anything
in the
goes.
military? Was he even in the military?
I don't know his resume, but I know that he's a civilian leader. He's not a military leader. So I have no clue why he would don olive drab uniform. It's the
it's all
same
by
with
design, DC.
yeah,
It's all by design. It's not a coincidence. It's not, oh, well, this just no, this is all about visually, preparing, creating a perception with Donald Trump floating the idea of arresting our government officials. This is all about seeding and beginning to normalize activities and behaviors that are unprecedented, but to begin to normalize it so that the American people will be like, okay, we've been conditioned to that.
Reggie, do you see the big screen?
I do.
This is ridiculous, the big screen.
So this guy, right? He was a drug trafficker. He was in prison. He was pardoned. And now he is set to be the deputy director for the bureaus of prisons.
Of course. Of
And
course.
again, you guys, as we're starting to see how the dots connect with the administration now having access to our data, okay, now he can see who voted for who. He can track, he has more ability to track our activities because he has our social security numbers and so forth. So again, there is one theme that keeps replaying itself. This is all about grabbing power. All of the other things are just like Ali said, smoke and mirrors. Oh, we're going to get the criminals. That's smoke and mirrors. Oh, we're trying to deport the undocumented. That's smoke and mirrors. Sending in the National Guard, sending in the military and the Marines against U.S. citizens. This is all about grabbing up power so that he can position himself to authoritarianism and unchecked, so he doesn't have to go through any checks and balances, but he can do whatever it is that he chooses or desires.
I know what bothers me most, and I know we're about to wrap the show, but what bothers me most about all of this is that the people who are supporting him, they don't realize that once he's done terrorizing everyone else, who do you think is next? They don't stop. They don't stop. You will have your day, and while you're laughing and you voted for hate, your day is coming, especially if you aren't in the 1%. He don't even like you. He doesn't even recognize you because your bloodline wasn't pure enough to put you in the place where he's at. That's the way he thinks. They think that they are superior through their bloodline. That's why they marry each other.
No one is exempt because, look at history. When Hitler was in power, and the Jews were cooperating and basically giving the locations of other Jews because they thought that it would in some way ensure them
Save them
from going to those camps where they were being unalived. And at the very end, they were the ones who were policing the Jews themselves, policing the Jews, thinking that they would be protected, were the very last ones to be sent to those camps.
Right.
Oh, how history repeats itself.
And this is the same thing.
Yeah, that was what was so disappointing about the Latinos for Trump. That was so disappointing because when a person becomes a citizen here in this country, and I'll keep it brief, they may go through a 30 question exam to become a citizen. It doesn't delve into the dark side of America's history. It just gives you the general history of America. We've lived this. We've lived it. We've endured it. We've bled. We've been unalived. All for the freedoms that they come here to enjoy. And when we tell you something, best believe it's the truth. Stop trying to assimilate with someone that could give two damns about you. Period.
Right.
That's it.
At this point, y'all will live and learn. Hopefully you'll live and learn. We have learned. That's why we're not coming. Any last words? We got about a minute left.
Voting for their own demise. Everybody have a great Tuesday. I know this was a tough conversation, but get out there, breathe easy, inhale, exhale slowly, and continue with your amazing week.
Absolutely.
Midterms.
Make sure your voter register is up to date.
Yes. Get out there, touch some grass, drink your water, and remember, this too shall pass. Thank you, DC. Thank you, Reggie. Thank you, Ali.
Thank you, guys.
Amazing show. It was a tough conversation, but it's one we have to have. Thank you all so much. You're listening to Our Plugs, the community connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. We'll be right back tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning. We'll be right back.
Don't push us to next week.
I know.
We'll be back tomorrow.
All right. I'm thinking it's the weekend. I wish. All right.
Thank you, Ali. Thanks for helping us out today. Thank you.
Thank you all. Have a great one. Thank you, chat.
Hey, y'all. It's DJ Kitty.
And Miss Morningstar.
We are here.
Hold on. Here, let's go.
Our Plugs, the Community Connection, and we will be your new morning host on WKRA 92.7 The Change.
Yes, we will be broadcasting Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time.
We'll also be streaming on YouTube at Our Plugs LLC.
Be sure to tune in.
Hey, y'all. It's DJ Kitty.
And Miss